and today we're gonna read Diary of a Wimpy Kid, the long haul story starting on Saturday story, and we were gonna the end of reading on the weekend story. Maybe if we had a lot of time to read. And now, are you ready for read this one but with a lot of stories? Now here we go. And first we can read Diary of a Wimpy Kid, the long haul starting on Saturday. Even with the added space we got from the boat, the minivan was still pretty full. I snuck my pillow on the board in the last second because I decided I was entitled to at least one luxury item. I figured Roderick would want to sit in the back of the bed because whenever we go anywhere as a family, he likes to scratch out of and take a nap. And every once in a while, we'll forget Roderick is even back there. This Easter, we make a half-away drove church because before Mom realized Roderick never made it out of the bed. Back when we had a station wagon, me and Roderick used to sit on the way back together in the seat that faced the rear window. But we got into big trouble when we played a practical joke on Mom and Dad that ended up getting us pulled over by the police. When we got in the bed today, Roderick offered me to the back seat. I escaped before he could change his mind, but I shouldn't known his offer was too good to be true. Before I pulled off the driveway, Mom said we were taking a special guest along for the ride. For a second, I worried we were picking something else up because with all our stuff in the bed, they have to sit on the roof. But Mom opened her purse and pulled out a piece of paper with drawing on it. The drawing was Flat Stanley, a character from the book I read second grade. Oh, Flat Stanley, I read that book too. I think they're somewhere in our house. Oh yes, Flat Stanley. Oh, I know that. Some wishing well, something. Yes. I read it in the second grade. Flat Stanley is a boy who gets squashed by the bulletin board and falls down off his bedroom wall in the middle of the night. And they pull a bulletin board off him. He has a thin piece of paper. I thought it would be pretty cool that Flat Stanley could fold himself up and get mail to his grandma's or have his brother fly him like a kite. But I'll tell you this. If Flat Stanley had a brother like Roderick, I guarantee he would have served the whole day. Scream! I really liked the book, but it kind of freaked me out too. One thing it did was give me a deathly fear of bulletin boards. Are you sure you don't want the bed? It's a lot more comfy. That's okay, you take it. Oh, Raggedy is still using the bed because she don't want to be the flat Wimpy. Graggly. In the second grade, everyone in my class had to color the cutout of Flat Stanley and mail him to a friend relief who lived far away. Then that person was supposed to take a picture of Flat Stanley in the front of something interesting and to mail him back into the photo. My friend Rowie sent Flat Stanley to the bunch of his reliefs and got a lot of cool pictures back. Rowie even sent him to his uncle who lives in Asia, and he took a picture of Flat Stanley in the front of the Great Wall of China. Well, the first person Mom send my flat Stanley to their cousin Stacy, who lives in the settle. But she probably wasn't the best choice. Stacy is one of those people who hoard a sort of stuff like newspapers and magazines. So Mom should have known that once her cousin got her hands on Flat Stanley, he wasn't coming back. Today, Mom said she was going to take photos of our new Flat Stanley in the front of the cool places we visit, and then made a scrapbook of our trip. And as soon as we got on our highway, she started snapping pictures, but she was probably a little too eager because her first few pictures aren't actually keepers. When Mom wasn't taking pictures, Flat Stanley was taped into the front of the air conditioning vent. All I can say is he was having a lot better ride than I was. The windows in the back of the van don't open, and the vents were blocked by all our language, so I wasn't getting any cold air. What made me even more uncomfortable was a fact that Mom was controlled to the trip. Mom was always trying to make things about the education, and I knew she was gonna turn the experience into the long lesson. She had been doing that ever since I was little. I remember when I scratched by Grandma's cat, and Mom tried to turn into the teaching moment. Cat. C-A-T. Cat. Sure enough, a half hour into the trip today, Mom started with the educational stuff. She had borrowed a bunch of cities from the library that teach Spanish, and said we could use the long scratches into the road to learn new language as a family. Mom's always saying to learn foreign language is the best thing you can do for your brain. That might be true, but I think she would leave actual teaching to the schools. Mom decided it would be a good idea to expose me for the foreign language early on. So when Mom was in the first grade, she would put Spanish-speaking channels on TV while we ate breakfast. Mom would repeat whenever they said on the television, but when she said the words, they came out a little bit different. Tango or mar. Tango hamburgers. I ended up learning a sort of process that we're on right. For example, the way you're supposed to say, what's your name in Spanish? ¿Cómo te llamas? Well, I know that now because I learned in the middle school Spanish class. But when I was little, Mom taught me that what is your name in Spanish is te amo, which actually means I love you. I just wish I had to learn that before I said it to the million different people. Te amo, te amo. Oh, te amo is I love you, but te amo is Gregory's mom said te amo is what's your name, but also Gregory is thinking it really is what is your name in English. So real what is your name in Spanish is ¿Cómo te llamas? But Gregory's mom had told Gregory a wrong word. Today, Mom played the first 2 Spanish CDs, but she's just frustrated they don't seem to be paying attention. So she switched gears and said we're gonna play a card game that she read about in her magazine. The game was called the Alphabet Grosses. And you play like this. The first player had a name on the item you could get at a grocery store and stir it up with the letter A. The first person has to come up with the item that starts with B, and so on. If the player came with an item that started with a letter, they're out of the game. Mom said I should go first, so I said apple, which then means I guess a kind of obvious choice. Roderick was up next, but he said he couldn't come up with any food started with B. I'm pretty sure I was lying to get out of having to play the game, but Roderick would never know. When Roderick knocked out, the turn went to Manny, who came up with his word right away. Babel. And Mom started clapping, but I pointed out that Babel isn't the real word. She said many just learned the alphabet and that we all need to approach him. I quit in the protest, and from that on, it was really many Mom and Dad playing. I really wishes our earplugs weren't burned up in the duffel bag under the pile of suitcases, because the next hour and a half was pretty painful. Zabel! Yay! Oh, wait a minute, guys. I have to see where is the chapters. If it's too long, I will gonna read. I will get at the end of. Oh, it's too long. So let's read one more chapters. Oh, that talk food was really getting me kind of hungry. And when I saw the sign of a drive toward the place at the next exit, I asked Mom if we could pull over. But Mom said we wouldn't be stopping at any of those kinds of restaurants because they don't serve real food. She said the fast food places were kids in the cheap plastic toys to trick them into eating sugar and fat, and they weren't gonna fall into that trap. Mom said she had much better alternative and hand me a lunch bag with a name on it. Graggly, Mummy Meal, Naturous Food, Fun Activities. Oh, this is Graggly's lunch bag. It's really pretty that Mama decorated on. So let's see this funny story for tomorrow. And then, now did you have brand new Lost English Country? We come back with some of these book one of this story because there might be a new chapter 3 for tomorrow. And now please thumbs up my YouTube. And now, bye-bye everyone!